Hello, Brandon Bonhoeffer here with On Focus. We are going throughout the city of Marshfield to look at the streets. We're going to talk with the superintendent of the street division as well as the patrol captain that is on here at the Marshfield Police Department. There's been a number of accidents that occurred, and the street department and the police department are working together to keep you safe, so stay tuned. Before we bring in the interviews that we promised you, we want to give you a recent update on the traffic here in Marshfield. In the last hour, there's been a significant number of accidents that have taken place. This is much due to the snowpack that is occurring on the roadway. The Public Works Department is well aware of this, and as mentioned in the upcoming interview, they are taking all necessary measures to ensure safety on our roadways. For your own safety, we ask that you do a number of things as traveling here throughout central Wisconsin, including our roadways in Marshfield. Allow plenty of traveling distance between you and the car in front of you. When approaching an intersection, allow for a longer braking distance. Allow for extra time in your travels and pay additional attention to drivers around you. Wisconsin's seen a significant snowstorm in the last 24 hours, and the roadways may be plowed, but the snowpack is definitely causing slippery conditions. This is a traffic update brought to you by On Focus. We'll continue covering what matters most to you. Now, for our interviews with Superintendent of Street Department and the Lieutenant of Police on patrol today at the Marshfield Police Department, so stay tuned. Hello, I'm Brandon Bonhoeffer from On Focus, and we are at the Marshfield Police Station with Lieutenant Esser here to talk about the road conditions and what's taking place in Marshfield. Esser, tell me a little bit about the storm and what have you seen as far as traffic incidents here in the last 24 hours?
Coincidentally, just after you got here, I was just explaining to you, Brandon, that we've had a number of crashes just come in here in the last 10 or 15 minutes, and it's about 1:45 in the afternoon right now. Street Department did a great job cleaning everything up this morning, but wind's still blowing out there, snow is still drifting in and causing some issues, so we do have a number of crashes taking place still.
Now, are these one or two vehicle incidences?
Mostly, yes. Mostly one and two, yeah.
People just simply losing control on the roadway or any other known causes?
Correct, and then with the plow trucks out and other traffic out, a lot of people snow blowing and things like that. There's a lot to be observant about and be watching for to make sure that you plan ahead to make sure you have enough room to stop and things like that. So we're just seeing those types of what we would consider more minor crashes. We're not getting any major injuries or anything like that right now.
So how many on-duty officers or squads do we have on right now?
We currently have 7 patrol officers working right now, including myself, and actually right at this moment they're all busy on crashes except for me.
So that brings up a good point. Obviously in Wisconsin here we're going to see some bitter temperatures over the next couple of days. What should people be putting in their vehicles in the event that they would get in an accident?
Yeah, and things that you probably would hear about every time during the winter when we get this cold weather. Obviously pack some extra clothing, some boots, a shovel, blankets, some snacks, things like that. Charge up your cell phone in case you have to call somebody. Let people know where you're going so they know if you don't get there on time that maybe they should make a phone call and start going out and looking for you. Just your average cold weather clothing, and if you got hand warmers, foot warmers, things like that.
Well, thank you for your time. We'll let you get back to keeping the streets in Marshfield safe. I'm Brandon Bonhoeffer On Focus, and everyone out there watching, make sure you follow the tips that were provided here and travel safe over the next few days. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brandon Bonhoeffer On Focus, and we are at the Street Department in Marshfield here at Superintendent Dean Schiller. Dean, this snowstorm was in the forecast for the last few days. Have you guys done anything different to prepare for this snowstorm?
No, staff usually sees these events coming ahead and start putting a plan together what we're going to do. We look at what time we're going to start putting our resources, our employees out there to plow roads, and then kind of map out so we don't stretch ourselves too thin.
Now, the storm came in yesterday afternoon and proceeded through the night. What time did you guys make the call to go out and start servicing our city streets?
We had a couple of employees in as early as 1:30 in the morning, and then we started calling the rest of the staff in at about 4:30 in the morning to go through and plow all the city streets.
Now, throughout the day, you guys have been continuing to service the streets. It looks like the snow is let up here. Do you have plans for tonight or in the next day or two?
Yeah, for the rest of the afternoon, our staff will continue to do our primary roads, our top priority roads in the city. And then later tonight, we'll be back out at midnight to go through and start cleaning up a lot of our downtown areas, turn lanes and stuff like that, and just kind of go through all the residential subdivisions and take care of where drifting has occurred.
Any parking restrictions or anything like that here implicated in the city of Marshfield?
Normal parking restrictions is during the winter months. There is no overnight parking between, I think it's midnight and 6 a.m. So those are still in effect where people aren't able to park, and we'll be able to get most of our work done during that period.
And Dean, one question I have for you, and probably something just a little kind of a little fact trivia here, is how many guys did you guys have out at your peak time here today?
I think we're right around 25 to 26 employees.
And also throughout the town, you randomly see these yellow boxes stationed at different intersections. What are those yellow boxes really for?
Those have sand in it. They're at numerous intersections throughout the city. What that's for is if people, some of those areas ice up. So there's a little pail in there where residents can grab the sand in there and spread it on the sidewalk so people don't slip and fall. Those are for those intersections. They're not necessarily for people to take the sand out of those boxes back to their house and use on their driveways. They're actually for those intersections in the sidewalk at those intersections.
Well, there you have it, guys. If you want to be a good neighbor, if you're at an intersection that has one of those boxes and you notice it to be a little bit slick here, go ahead and utilize that, courtesy of the city of Marshfield. Now, we're going to see some pretty frigid temperatures in the next couple of days. How is sand and ice really going to, or sand and salt really going to be able to work for us?
Well, we're watching those temperatures, and we're going to try to get some salt down this afternoon to help loosen up some of that snowpack that's in the road. I know a lot of times people will put sand out on the roads also, but sand is good for probably about the first 50 vehicles, and then it pretty much is off the road because of traffic. So it looks good at the time, but it doesn't last long. So we'll be monitoring the roads and trying to take care of any icy conditions that we have.
Sounds good, Dean. We appreciate you and your staff's time. Thank you for tuning here on Focus. I'm Brandon Bonifer, and we'll see you guys again.